So today I'm going to be talking about something that's really personal to anyone born with a uterus, basically. But it's sort of extra personal for trans men. So I'm going to be talking about periods, basically. So yeah, I'm quite awkward about it. I'm not going to lie about that. I'm very awkward, very uncomfortable talking about this. But I do feel like it needs to be talked about. Like, I think it's something that often just kind of gets ignored, or I don't know, for me at least, I feel like there was a lot of shame associated with it. Like, having a period made me less of a man, and before I knew I was trans, it was just so uncomfortable, like emotionally and physically as well, of course, but it was just So I feel like recently it's become slightly less shameful, I guess, to talk about periods, but that's mostly been for women who have periods to talk about it. And also men to talk about it around women, but it's not really talked about much in regard to trans men. So I guess for me, my experience with it, because I've only just recently gotten on a high enough dosage of testosterone that it seems to have stopped, hopefully. So I've been on testosterone for over 2 years now, but I was on a really low dosage, and it was transdermal, so it was applied through the skin. And there was basically an absorption limit that I hit and wouldn't go any higher, so they were increasing the dose, but it wasn't going higher, and then my endocrinologist basically went, right, we're going to switch over to the shots. So yeah, I've had 2 actual testosterone shots now, and yeah, they seem to have made a lot of changes much faster than the 2 years of the testosterone that cost several $1,000s by this point. Anyway, so prior to this point, I was still getting my period fairly regularly, but I never really felt comfortable enough like documenting it or keeping track of when it happens. I don't know, it may not have been regularly. I tried to ignore it. Which is not actually especially safe. I have a lot of family history with issues with that kind of area. So awkward, sorry. So I've got a lot of family history with endometriosis and stuff like that. So I really actually should have been keeping track of it, but I just couldn't, emotionally, I couldn't do it. But yeah, I guess the main reason I wanted to make this video was to kind of express that I know that it can feel like your masculinity is being taken away by having a period. It sucks. But it doesn't make you any less of a man. And feeling like it does is understandable, like it's difficult. But know that even if you do feel less of a man because of your period, that doesn't actually take away from your masculinity. Drop me a comment if you've got any feedback or questions or anything like that. Subscribe if you want to see more. And I'll see you next time. Periods. It's going to be awkward. Alright. I can't do it. Okay, so I can do this, Doug. Give me a breakfast. Yeah, I can do this. I should do that whole thing again, huh? Awkward. Awkward. Boop. You're a good dog. So the reason I'm doing this video, the reason I'm doing this video trying to is to help people not feel less of a man because of their period. But I need a way to word that, which doesn't sound awful. Yeah?